It's no mystery why people call Venus, Earth's planetary neighbor, its evil twin. If you were to go to Venus on a vacation, you would first be cooked alive by its high temperatures, and then you would be eaten, literally degraded, by the sulfuric acid clouds. Overall, not a really pleasant visit. However, very recently, scientists detected a small trace amount of a molecule called phosphine. Phosphine is a molecule that has one phosphorus atom surrounded by three hydrogen atoms, pH3. Now, scientists have been using phosphine and they've been studying phosphine as a potential biosignature. In other words, could this molecule's presence be indicative of life? And it turns out that many anaerobic bacteria, that is, bacteria that don't rely on oxygen, produce it. So are there really tiny Venus aliens floating around on Venus's sulfuric clouds that we're just waiting to discover? Well, let's dig deeper into the paper. In this paper, the scientists discovered a 20 parts per billion concentration of this molecule, phosphine. They constructed many models to try to come up with ideas of where the phosphine came from. They looked at meteorites, they looked at comets and asteroids, and they even looked at lightning. Some have even proposed volcanic eruptions. Where is the phosphine coming from? When these scientists took these models and all of these chemical reactions, they found that no known process can produce the phosphine concentrations that we observe. So how is it that we observe this 20 parts per billion phosphine concentration? Just because something is unknown does not mean that it has to be aliens, right? Perhaps there might be some other geologic process that causes it. Now, phosphine has been discovered in these large gas giants like Jupiter and Saturn, where the high pressures can coerce the phosphine to be produced in these amounts. But in Venus, the pressures just simply aren't enough. The models don't account for the appearance of this phosphine concentration. Phosphine is what chemists call a reduced molecule. When I hear about a reduced molecule, I just think about attaching hydrogens. So phosphorus with its three hydrogens, that's a pretty reduced molecule. The problem is Venus's atmosphere is oxidizing, which means that it likes to rip away those hydrogens and replace it with oxygen. It's oxidizing. So what this means is that unless there's a steady supply of phosphine from some source, the phosphine is simply just going to be degraded. So the fact that there is this steady state concentration of phosphine means that there must be something producing it. We just don't know what. Might it be Venus aliens? Or might it be some other geologic process that we don't know? It's important to emphasize that the detection of phosphine in Venus's atmosphere is not indicative of life. It's only evidence that there's some chemical process going on that we don't yet know about, and that's what makes it exciting. What is known, however, is that this is an exciting time to be alive and exploring biology in all realms of the universe.